Don't forget again.
I just couldn't do it last time on my phone. That's one of the issue when you.
Do we try and record it on here?
I can record that. That's it. We're recording now. But last time I did it on my phone, and the functionalities on the phone for some reason are a bit.
I did one Zoom call on my phone, and I think I got hacked. So I only do it on my laptop.
Oh.
Constantly getting hacked, like all the time.
That's shit.
Yeah, it is. I'm just unlucky on the internet.
You need to. There's a thing where you can clear the field, the energy field around your IT equipment. It's on still, you know, the same website I always send you the link from. There's clearing, so, you know, someone, and there's clearing the space, and there's clearing electromagnetic field.
Oh, yeah, I do it quite a lot. It's just for whatever the internet trolls and goblins are just. They always find a way. I think it's just I'm just crap with updates. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, never mind. We'll get there. Hopefully, we won't get hacked into today. So, first of all, you know, when I start, you know, looking at a chart like this, I try to see if there's any patterns of number that are turning up. So for you, there's a couple. So of course, oh, that's it. There's the 10 that comes with quite a few people, and you've noticed it anyway. I think you said you have. So 10-1 is quite present, you know, throughout the chart. We also have so your 5, that's present, and it's also present here. It's here as well. Here, 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 here again, and here again. There's a lot of 14-5 as well for some reason. But 5 is another one that's really there, really present. So it's a number that will have. I mean, those two numbers are going to have an impact, possibly more than, you know, other numbers. And just looking at it as well, I can see a little bit of. I can see 11-2 here, 11-2 here. I think I've seen it other. No, it's not that obvious. There's only 2. Yeah. Not quite relevant. So I don't know if you remember, but with the 10-1, the way to look at a overlay reading, you have to think that they're only bringing the positive aspects of a number, not really the karmic aspect where you know, it's going to create more trouble, unless in some, you know, in some situations it might be the case, but it's quite rare. So you might, if you look at it in a kind of a chart, you know, the overlay numbers that you're getting on your numbers, there might be 10-15% of karma, but the rest is going to be all good. And then think of it as, you know, these numbers are benefiting you in a way, but it doesn't mean that it's benefiting the person that is giving you the number. So let's say that you know, you were talking about the 10-1 for Natasha and Harriet. You know, it's beneficial to you, but it might be a massive cockblock for them in a way. It might be, you know, it might be issues for them or karmic patterns. So it doesn't always mean that, you know, because they have this number, they're going to be this enlightened person. They might, you know, struggle, but you're getting the benefit of the number on your chart. Okay. We tend to read it from right to left. So when it also, talent also work left to right, but everything else is right to left. So if I, for example, look at just, say, you and your mom, it's all going to go this way. Yeah. And the only one that can go both ways is with the talent. So you can help with your talent, and she can help with her talent. But otherwise, everything goes from right to left. Okay? Clear. So the attributes of the 10-1, they are really connection to God, very powerful masculine energy, great intuition, and the number, you of service, to society. So these are, great numbers. And there was also the 5 that is, well, very present in your chart. And that's all about, all the attributes of Aries. So it's going to be pioneering, courageous, assertive, very good speaking, very good at speaking and speaking the truth. And also very sensitive. So these are the 2 numbers that are, and both of them are very spiritual numbers. So they run across all of the charts. Yeah, both numbers, the 5 and the 10-1, quite present in different shape. 5 as in 5-5 and also 14-5. But we'll just focus on the 5 of the 14-5. So there's clearly quite a lot of that. Then so what I tend to do is I tend to focus one person at a time, because it's easier for the reading. So I'll start with your mom, and then we'll discuss the numbers and the interaction between you two. And then I go to your dad, and then I go to your brother. With your brother, I do both names, because you said that he used Jonathan for
He
a...
was insistent on Jonathan, and my brother, he's not strange or anything, but he was like, no, I'm Jonathan, and he refused point blank to answer to Ryan, so he was Jonathan for 15 years of his life.
Yeah, cool.
On his passport and things, even though it's not legit.
So was it changed on his passport or not? No, never.
He just wrote that was his name and things, even though it wasn't. He just accepted that as the truth. So he's got 2 different passports.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he would just point blank. You could put him on a lie detector test and ask him his name, and he'd be like, "It's Jonathan," and pass. He was just, "I'm Jonathan."
Well, he probably channeled that Jonathan was the right name for him at the same time, because to be honest, Ryan Lewis is very limiting as a name. So no wonder he wanted to change name, and he probably just channeled that Jonathan was better for him. And it is, in a way. It's much better than Ryan. So because you and your brother, you have the same problem, in the sense that you both have really short names, and you have the same physical aspects as the spiritual ones. So he would benefit a name optimization as well. So the fact that he did it himself is actually quite stunning, because he probably knew that Ryan was never going to be enough for him. So that's quite funny. So with your mum, let me annotate. Is there a color that you really dislike, or is there a color that you really love?
I'm fine with anything.
Yeah, okay. No, some people have really with certain colors, so I don't want to, inflict anything on that. So with your mum, so this is, even though this is in karma, don't worry about this. What's really good is that it's a very good combination, because 10-1 is a very masculine energy. It's Archangel Michael, it's very masculine, and 13-4 is literally the nurturing mother energy. So it's not the best combination you can have, because the best combination you can have is to have the same number. So it would have been ideal, you know, if it was the same number, but the fact that it's the 13-4, which is the nurturing mother energy, is actually perfect to counterbalance, you know, your masculine karmic energy. So that's really good. There, just under, you have what's called a talent resonance. So that's when you have the same number in talent, both of you. And again, this is a perfect match when you have the same number. That means that your mom, through this number in her physical talent, was able to help you. Maybe it wasn't obvious, you know, initially, but that's what she brought to your life. She brought this pioneering energy, so the Aries energy, the speaking the truth, the creativity, the ability to speak freely for yourself and really speak the truth. And yeah, so she really did that. So that's again, that's a very good number. It's like 5 + 5 equals nothing, equals 0. So you're back, you know, anything that could have been negative before with this number is helped through this overlay. Then the next one, the 3 and the 9. Honestly, the 9 is such a strong energy that you are probably destroyed a 3, and the 3 is all about communication.
Yeah, I know that one.
So you probably just overwhelmed her. And the 3 is also about balanced sexuality. So I don't know what you make of this.
Only the same as you, Valerie.
So the attributes of the 3 are this, you know, great communication and balanced sexuality. However, because of your 9, you probably destroyed all that. You probably ignored it. You were like, you know, I'm better than this. I'm a 9. I'm a dragon. So, but you know, nothing you can control, because your 9 is so powerful compared to the 3. And if I look at the actually, no, 3 is not it's not one of the strongest number, but it's not at the bottom. You know, the weakest number are 5, 2, and 11. So I mean, not weaker, the lesser number. And 3 is not, you know, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's in the top 8, so it's not that bad.
It's just not as strong. It's nowhere near as strong.
It's not. Yeah, no, it's never going to be strong enough to have an impact on the 9. You know, it's like imagine Pac-Man. You know, Pac-Man comes choo. It's the 3 that comes to the 9, and the 9 goes
right
out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Then the 11-2 is all about structure and resilience. So you can see how, you know, angular and square and everything, and you know, very strict in a way. So that's what it's bringing to your 10-1. So again, it's a good match. 10-1 is stronger than the 11-2, but still giving you a bit of structure, which can't be a bad thing.
No. Yeah, she did actually.
Then we have the 18-9. So that's when, you know, this one is interesting, because in there, even though it's not a 9-9, it's still an 18-9. So you've got a 9 in there, and the 9 will be a talent gateway as well as a gold lock. So a gold lock is when the person in the overlay has a number that will complement the goal or the karma. So there's a karmic lock or a goal lock, but there's also the talent. I've lost the word now. Oh my God, my mind's gone blank.
What?
Talent. Okay.
Right.
Talent gateway. So your mum's 9 here. Let me clear this because it's all a bit messy. So your mum's 9 here is going to help you with the 10-1. And, you know, again, the 10-1 is all about connection to God, intuition, unity, service to society. She's going to help ground the 5,
Yeah.
which is necessary. And the 9 is going to also complement the 9 because they're equal numbers. Now, when I say it complements it, it can also mean that you probably clash sometimes or you would have clashed in reality. But it's great that she had a 9 to cope with your 9s.
Yeah.
Because your dad doesn't have any,
He can't cope.
no chance.
He's a,
We'll get to
we'll get to
him.
him.
Yeah, we'll get to him. And then, so the 19-1 on the 9 did not probably do much, but the 19-1 is all about service, you know, being of service to people. So again, it's not a bad attribute to get from your mom.
No. He's very nice. That makes sense.
And, you know, the fact that you ended up having this loving mother energy is actually really nice, you know.
Yeah, I'm very.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. It's good.
Yeah.
And even though she couldn't control me necessarily,
there was no way she could have because of your 9s.
I wasn't being like unruly, but she couldn't. Like, I just did what I wanted, and just she's like, she's not a bad person. She's just off the rails a bit, but
yeah.
But she did provide like stability and things like that. Like things like making me do like face masks and things.
Good.
Yeah.
So, Kevin.
Oh God, here we go. What did you make of him?
Very unstable. Okay, so look at this. You know, the 15-6 and the 8 are so the 8 is very grounding. However, because he has it in both goal and karma, so it's the best number for him to transmute it, but I don't think he never reached the stage where he just settled. So typically your 8, when it's in a karmic position, karmic or goal, it's unable to stick to a job or unable to stick to commitment, unable to stick to an address, unable to, you know, moving around constantly. And the moving around constantly is also the signature of the 15-6, which is in his spiritual goal. So there's no way this man can settle unless he really wants to work on himself. But because out of 6 numbers, there's 4 that are ungrounding and unsettled. I mean, if by now his age is not been able to settle, I'm not saying it can't happen, but it takes a lot of introspection and a lot of work on yourself to fight, you know. And it's just easier to go with, yep, let's keep on changing and let's keep on moving around. So that would explain maybe the, you know, strange relationship he had with you, he had with your mom as well, because she would suffer as well from this, you know, the you know, she would, you know, have this, he would have the same impact on her and on all of you guys, with his instability, really. Now if we look at the benefits, because that's him as a person, really. And you can see that he's got the 10-1, and the 10-1 would be, you know, with your 10-1. So if it doesn't work through his karmic pattern, it's male disempowerment, father figure problems. You know, was he a good dad? Possibly not.
No.
There you go. But if we look at one step up and look at the overlay energy of this is, again, the perfect match, because there's nothing better to fight the karma of a 10-1 than another 10-1. So it's going to clash at the beginning, but then it's going to go into a talent. So with his 10-1, he somehow helps you transmute the negative aspects of your 10-1 in the spiritual bit. Then if we go back to the 8, so the 8 is going to be grounding for the 10-1. The 8 is going to be very grounding for the 5-5. So that's, and this is a perfect match in terms of grounding your 5. You could have the 5 that you had with your mum, or you can have the 8 that you have with your dad. So you had the best of both. You had the 5 from your mom to ground your 5, and the 8 from your dad to ground your 5. So that's the perfect match. Both of them together manage to keep you grounded. So again, that's good. And the interaction between the 8 and the 9 is actually a very good one as well, because it's the strongest grounding energy that you can find. So excellent grounding, and also it helps healing the trauma of the disempowerment of the 9. Because remember, your 9 is in your goal, so there's going to be 30 to 70% of karmic aspect to this goal, and the 8 helps you transmute the negativity and the disempowerment of the 9. Because the 9 is so powerful, initially, you're disempowered. So the 8 coming through your 9 is great to stop the disempowerment and to make sure that the trauma is healed. So as strange as it might sound, you know, knowing what your dad is about a little bit, there is, you know, his numbers really complement your chart, even though it didn't maybe translate as a person. So we've discussed, you know, the 10-1. So of course, a clash of masculine disempowerment. Great, thank you. So it's very ambiguous because, you know, there's all the benefits of the 8 on the 9, and then there's possibly the clash of the 10 on the 10. But again, you know, if we look at an overlay perspective, it's all beneficial because there's nothing better to calm a 10-1 than to give it a 10-1 to just, you know, be equal. The 7 is not really grounding, but it is in a way because it helps you connect with people. So I don't know if your dad was good at connecting with people and surrounding himself with the right people, whether it was at work or in his personal life, but that's what he's bringing to you on this spiritual talent level.
No, that's quite strange because he's not close to anybody. Like he doesn't.
But it could be in his, even though it's in a talent, if he chooses not to use his talent, then it's a karmic aspect. So even though it's a talent, you choose, you know, whether you want to use your talent or not. And if you don't want to use your talent, then you're a lone man, not friend with anyone, even though it's a talent. That's why you can never really tell, you know, if someone is very, you know, a people magnet and a very social person, because on the numbers, you're thinking, yeah, spiritual talent should be, but sometimes, you know, people are just in their in the karmic aspect of their numbers. So you never really know. You only get to find out when you speak to someone.
Well, he's a very good judge of character, actually. He can spot people who are insincere straight away.
Oh, there you go.
Which That's interesting. And he's also very good when he wants to turn on the charm.
Okay.
I don't think he has a problem sleeping with women.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of 7 is very magnetic. You attract people. So whether you attract the right type of people or the wrong type of people is down to you. It's down to your choice. But it's very magnetic. And 15-6 on the 9 does nothing, because 15-6 is all about moving around, which he did.
And still does. I think he's in Japan, but I don't know.
Yeah. So even though it might be difficult for you to believe, you know, there's a lot of grounding that comes from him, which is great for your 5. And networking and, you know, being with other people, great for your 5. The 5 is a bit of a lonely person because super sensitive and a bit lonely. So it's great because you and you say it yourself, you know, you can be this lone person, I'm happy on my own, and you're also happy sometimes to be with a group of people.
It
So
depends.
yeah, depends of you, the mood, the setting, the people, the environment. But because you're so sensitive with the 5, the 7 will help you be more accepting in a network, networking environment.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clear. Right. So I have to say your brother was a bit of a mystery.
He is in general.
And
He's just
I don't think you have 2 numbers that match, and it's the 5, not great because it's not very grounding. So there's, so that, you know, you have the 5, but apart from that, there's nothing else. So I was like, there must be something that no, there isn't.
That's all right.
And with both names, there was just nothing in common apart from the 5. So, and I think your 5, because of your talent, is going to help him more than he's going to help you.
Yeah, definitely.
But then it sounds very much like, you know, you're in charge, he's not. What you were saying. So, and you can see that again, you know, his numbers in the physical aspect are the same as the spiritual aspect because he's got a short name. Sorry, I've just dropped paper.
Right.
So it's you're like brother and sister from different parents somehow. I mean, it feels
100%. Yeah.
And I was really trying to find connections, and I just couldn't.
We don't have them.
Okay.
I don't.
That's reassuring.
No. We don't have them. I love him. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I know he's my brother. But
I would expect the same thing with my brother. I've never done my brother's chart, but I would expect nothing in common as well. Yeah.
Personality? No, we're not alike at all. But we've got similar interests. I mean, we both like history, but as we get older, we're a little bit more alike. But I think that's just
okay. So the only thing that you might have in common would be the 6 and the 9, because the 9 and the 6 are very creative.
He's not creative.
Or an interest in learning.
Yeah.
New things.
Yeah, I think it's conditioning though. I think because we both had the same childhood, that's where our commonalities are. Because you know, if you were raised with, I don't know, say David Tulio or something, and you spent 20 years like living together basically, even though you're completely separate people, you're going to have certain things in common or make jokes.
Of course.
But
it's like the mirroring, Yeah,
but beyond that, like
nothing.
No.
Yeah, it shows.
Yeah, it's so bizarre that that's come up. Yeah.
So anyway, you're still benefiting from his number. So this is all about abundance and sharing and very intelligent. So is giving you this. 11-2 is giving you structure, just like your mum did, but on another level. Your mum did this on the spiritual karma. He's giving you the structure on your 5, which is good. And the 21-3, nobody wants a 21-3 really. 21-3 is like one of the 3 numbers are really difficult to work with, and 21-3 is all about creating challenges, making things harder and difficult, and it's exhausting. So for him to have this in a goal position is probably, you know, fairly karmic-y, if I can say.
Yeah.
But the 21-3 is really a number you want to get rid of, and I'm not surprised that he changed his name so early on, because he could probably feel the weight of the 21-3. I mean, if I look at 21-3, endurance, it's exhausting, creates big challenges. It brings things out of the depth, but you know, it could be bringing deep shit out of the depth. So it is a challenging number. And really the only number that can deal with it is you with your 9. You help him clear this, and you help him clear this. So there's no, it's not by pure chance that you both have this repeating chart, because he badly needed your 9s to get through the 21-3, and he has it and you have it in your physical goal and in your spiritual goal, both of you. So you were very beneficial to him, whereas the 21-3 clearly has nothing to, no benefit. Then is adding creativity to you. So let me clear that a bit. So 6 is all about creativity. Great for you, 10-1. 19-1, you're a person of service. Great for the spiritual 5-5 that you have in your physical talent. Your 5 is his 5 is going to be destroyed by your 9. Sorry, but your 9 is helping him, so at least you know there's some sort of benefit there. 18-9 is adding. So you can see, you know, there's an arrow going one way or the other one. So what it really is, you know, choosing the path to freedom and enlightenment, or choosing to stay back in the past and go back to, you know, all the karmic patterns of the family. But because of the fact that it's in on the overlay for you, you're getting the benefit of it, and it's decision making. So people who have 18-9 in a talent position are usually really good at making decisions. They're project managers. They see the bigger picture. So this number is really helping you with the decision-making process. 7, like your dad, making sure people are together, you know, magnet to people. So I don't know if your brother is like this, but yeah, this is what he gets from your dad, really, because they share this this spiritual talent, both of them. They both have a 7 on their spiritual talent.
They're both lost, but they both can do that.
Okay. Like, so if they try.
Yeah, they're both quite, yeah, I can see that on both of them actually. Yeah, like the positive bit.
But that's with your brother's new name, the one he chose.
But he's gone back to Ryan now, so.
Limiting, very limiting. And then, so yeah, I mean, it's all, the 7 is all about bringing people together, help communication as well. So it's very good for the introvert 5. So that's beneficial. And the 16-7, 16 doesn't do much, but the 7 again is good, and it's you know, it's quite grounding in a way for the 9. So not a bad combination. But yeah,
He is a
Okay.
mystery.
Mystery.
He is.
Yeah, very much a mystery. And anyone, if you put these chart together, apart from the fact that you both have short names and a bit of 5, there's nothing else in common. Nobody would say that you're brother and sister. Nobody.
Yeah, very different.
And it doesn't have, you know, we said that the 10-1 was very present, but it doesn't have that. So very different from the rest of the gang.
Yeah, and that's why so even little things like my mum and dad and all of my family are obsessed with music as well, and things like Ryan's just a different entity in that respect.
Yeah.
My mum was like, "Oh, I wanted you close together so that you'd be really close growing up in age." Well, obviously in age, yeah,
Yeah.
but was very different.
Yeah.
Interesting though. Yeah, so Ryan is a mystery. He remains a mystery.
And yeah, he remains a mystery, really. Maybe we can have a look at the 3. No, hang on, that's the incorrect one. At the 3 partners at once, or ex-partners.
I tend to clash.
Right, on you. So, Faye. So it's really funny because the reason. So there's, first of all, there's. Let me annotate. So with your 5 and his 5, David, there's a talent resonance. So that's probably really why you met, because, you know, his 5 and your 5 really go well together because he's grounding you very much. You also have the karmic lock with him. Actually, it's a karmic clash. So initially it can, you know, his 10-1 can trigger your 10-1, but in maybe the longer term, then it's beneficial because there's nothing better than a 10 to help a 10-1. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of masculine disempowerment on his side as well, just like you had with your dad. And
I had the same job as my dad. I've never met anyone else who did that.
pardon?
His dad did the same job as my dad.
Oh.
And that he works away all the time. And his brother is the same age as my brother. So they had a similar sort of setup, family-wise.
Oh.
Which I
okay.
Not many people have that.
No. So that would make sense. Then his 7, you know, would help with the communication of the 9 and making it a bit, you know, gentler to deliver, you know, messages, and again, getting people together. He has 7 here as well, which is good. So you can see 7 on your 9 and double 7 on your 9. There's a lot of similarities, and the 7 will bring people together. So I don't know what your relationship was like, but what it turns out is, you know, grounding and stability and getting people together, and probably suffer the same path of masculine disempowerment, but managed through it. So, you know, your 10-1 helped his 10-1, his 10-1 helped your 10-1, so that you are, you know, supporting each other in that sense. And it would make sense because if your dads were doing the same job, you know, away from home, the father figure was clearly not there. So you were probably in the same, on the same boat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good relationship. He was we just got on very well. It was quite easy with him.
Okay.
Yeah. We were both a bit strange in the same sort of way, I think. So we just kind of got on very well.
Okay, that's cool. The fact that he has the 10-1, which is a masculine energy, and the 13-4 in his chart is very balanced because he gets the father and the masculine energy from the 10-1, and he gets the 13-4, which is the, divine mother, power of the feminine in his soul destiny as well. So it's
Yeah,
all.
he was balanced. He wore a skirt to school when he was 10 for a bit.
I'm not surprised with the 13-4, yeah.
He was very manly, which is bizarre as well. He was very, very manly, but then also quite camp in his own weird way.
Okay.
He got on very well. He's very unusual. He's a very unusual chap. I think you'd like him. He's very nice.
Yeah. But it's he probably had a tough time maybe to start with, finding who he was, because when you look at the 14 is, self-reflection of yourself. So you have to see your challenges through other challenges so that they reflect back on you. So you probably had to test and get a lot of intense, because 14-5 is a very intense number, very intense relationships. So he probably had a hard time because he's got this in karma. However, because his talent is the same number, they kind of, cancel each other out. But yeah, this is like, imagine, he's in the center and he has to look at a mirror to know himself, and at another mirror to know himself, and another mirror to know himself a little bit better. So his experiences in life make him know himself better. But only once he went through all these experiences can he know himself better. But before that, it was a bit of a challenge. Then Hattie, so you actually have very, the same number. So you have a karmic lock. So your physical karma is in the lock with Hattie's talent and Natasha's talent. So that's why you got with them. That's what attracted you to them. The fact that their 10-1 could help your karmic 10-1. You also had someone else with a 10-1, didn't you? Oh yeah, that was your dad, but that was in the spiritual karma, so different. So that's why you ended up being in love and being in love. And the fact that Hattie has a 9 as well in her chart kind of made her a better candidate to deal with your 9s as well, but still not enough in a way, because you have 2 10-1s and 2 9-9s, and they're very strong numbers, and she only had 1 9-9 and 1 10-1. So it was never really going to be maybe enough.
Jesus Christ, what the hell am I going to end up with then if that's not enough?
Name optimization.
Fucking hell, I'm going to stay sick.
Yeah, but your birth name will always remain your birth name, and then what you'll add is an overlay to complement all of these bits to stop the limiting numbers repeating themselves. So that will help you immensely. But still, her 9 brought a lot of power to your 10-1, so that's really good. Your Natasha's 7-7, brought the bring people together, and also the 7-7 is very decisive, so it's always a good attribute to have. Communication and balanced sexuality, is the same number as your mum. So whether it worked on your 9.
God, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Do you let me put your mum's chart again? Ooh, that's. So if we go back to your mom,
Yeah. Oh
does that make sense?
my God, yeah.
So look, your mom had this.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh, that's creepy. Never mind. Yeah. That no. Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
So communication and balanced sexuality. So that made you laugh earlier on, but very applicable with Natasha as
Oh,
well. I know that. Ugh.
like that. Rather there was no crossover with my mum there. Ah. Um. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. And then if we look at the 5, so the 5 is not going to bring you anything in terms of, because of the strength of your 9, and you probably, broke her balls because her 9 was never going to be strong enough to support you. However, your talent did very well. Well, it did nothing to her 9 there with the talent gateway, but helped her a lot as well with her. So you helped her with her 5, your 5 helping her 5, and then your 9 probably destroyed her 5 at the same time. So I don't know to which extent, these energy were used, whether you were more beneficial or whether you were more, a wrecking ball, in her face.
On the hour every hour with her.
Okay.
She was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I feel like I didn't have the upper hand at all, ever with Hattie.
Well,
But
you know what? You did in principle, but maybe your 10-1 was not developed. The
no,
strength of the 10-1 was not developed, and maybe you were still being disempowered, and your 9
definitely.
was not as strong. So maybe at the time, those two were enough to.
Yeah, definitely.
Because how old were you when you were with Harriet? You were quite
20,
young.
23,
Yeah.
23, 24,
And how
25.
old was she? Was she older than you?
Only a year and a year,
Okay.
2 years,
Sometime a year, and experience in life can make,
Yeah, she
what you go
was a
through
lot
in
more
life.
experienced.
So this was probably more powerful then. But if we were looking at it now, if you were in a relationship now with her, you'd probably destroy her.
That's next to no. Sorry, what?
Revenge.
That's all I've written down. Haha, fuck you.
Aha. Got you. Revenge. My turn. Take this.
3-3, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, the 3-3, and it's very similar to the one with your mom on the 9. And yeah, going back to what we discussed at the beginning, the 10-1 for your 5 is great. The 10-1 for your 10-1 is perfect. And the 10-1 on your 9 is also very good. Let me check what the, so if you've got 9 in goals. 9 in goals. No, the 3 doesn't really do anything in particular.
So, in that instance, then, with my 9 in the goals, and with Tasha's being in only a 3-3 as well, did I just blitz through all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably makes sense.
You disempowered her.
Ah, okay.
Disempowered her in her way to communicate. Just like, you being outspoken to your mom saying, I want to marry a woman.
Yeah.
Was overpowering to her.
Yeah.
Because probably her communication approach was a bit more gentle than the of the 9.
There was only 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, so if we look at Hattie again, the 12-3 is a very nice number because it's all about the expansion of love, and it's all about expansion, and it's expansion of love, expansion of knowledge, expansion of everything. So again, very good for your 10-1. Helping with communication.
Yeah.
You know, 3 comes back quite, I mean, 3, 3, 3, 3. If we look at, you know, all the 3s there, quite present. The 21-3 is the same number as your brother. So even though it's in a talent, it's all about endurance, exhaustion, creating challenges. So I don't know if that resonates with her, but not really a number that would have helped you really in any way. However, Natasha's creativity would have had a good impact on your 6 and on your 5. And also the 6 is very strong-willed. But then you get some of this aspect going into your chart as well and helping you out.
Yeah, because I'm quite indecisive at times.
22 for Hattie. 22 is very exploration, very versatile number. So will never be as strong as a 9, but still, you know, infusing some nice energy to it. And the 14-5, well, 14-5 is, because the 14-5 is a very intense number because of all the soul searching and the mirroring and learning from the mistakes and learning from the experience. It's quite intense. So well, I know the answer. Natasha was intense, was an intense relationship, right? So yeah. And also the fact that, so both you, Hattie, and Natasha have a 10-1. 10-1 is the common number that we find in gay and lesbians. So not surprised there about your sexual orientations. And it's actually a surprise, you know, there, because there isn't one.
Yeah.
But then it's probably the balanced sexuality that, because it's in a goal, she probably didn't have it and never really got it. The balanced sexuality that comes with the 3.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't want to know.
No,
Yeah.
but then the 13-4 would probably indicate that she was more comfortable with women.
Yeah.
Because it's the mother energy. I think.
Like she'd had a relationship with 2 women.
Okay.
I know that.
Okay.
Now.
Now you know. Now you understand. Now you see the bigger picture. So yeah. So the reason you got together with Harriet and Natasha. So for Harriet is the 9 and the 10. And for Natasha, it's the 10 and the 6, you know, with the creativity. That's there. So they're the numbers because of the karmic lock. There was no better number to help you get rid of this karma. And the 9, again, help you transmute this karmic aspect of the 10-1. Because I don't know if you remember when we did your reading, the 10-1 was very much, you know, self-critical, you can have superficial relationship, denial of God, and I remember we discussed that. Unstable and worries and out of balance and worries very easily, and out of balance in the sense that you can be codependent on people. So then they both help you transmute all this to be more in your power, in your masculine power, and you know, not be in superficial relationship and not be so self-critical, and learn not to be so codependent on them and or men, because it's even though, you know, they're women, you know, it's Archangel Michael energy, you know, the 10-1, so it's very masculine, protective.
Interesting.
This is what we have. And then next we can look into your name optimization.
Yeah,
For that you would have to, I know you have a list already, but I'd like you to think about what attributes you want to add to your name. You know, if you're more looking at, you know, well, more power, possibly not. You probably want to tame it down a bit. Just saying. Yeah. Let's not add another 9 to the equation, because that's going to be a recipe for disaster. Okay. But if we can manage to have numbers that do complement quite nicely.
Yeah, I mean, with that, because I mean, I don't really have very many numbers at all.
Nope.
So like, ideally it would be something to help with the self-critical, like my 10-1, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So basically, you know, if you imagine that this would be, in there would be your new name, we need to find something that will complement this in physical karma. Then when we do the name optimization, it doesn't really matter. You know, it's like an overlay, so we don't care, because you're not going to get the negative aspects of the number. So we need to find something that will help the TEL1. So ideally here for grounded, we would need an 8-8 to ground you. Probably, if we can manage, another 8 here. And then make sure that we have numbers that don't get crushed by the 9s, but that complement them nicely. So what we could have, or we could have some 8, some 6, some 13-4, you know, some feminine energy, 22-4, so that you overcome the resistance of believing in spirit, you know, believing in God, and the 1 as well. But getting a 1 is so hard, because that's the first number. And for the 10-1, we could add, yeah, again, some 13-4, some 12-3 for the love and the communication. Again, 22-4. They're going to be strong numbers, don't get me wrong.
I think that would be important. Not the communication one.
Yeah.
Like softening it a little bit, probably.
Yep.
I don't just blade through people.
Yeah. So yeah, get something with 3-3 in there. Yeah, I think we need some 8, some 3. So 8 for grounding, 3 for communication, and then see, you know, think about, you know, the attributes that you would like your name to have.
Yeah, more stability, grounding, listening.
Well, stability and grounding is going to be the 8.
Yeah.
But we don't want too much of that necessarily. I mean, we can have the 8 for grounding, but we can also have the 17-8, which is great for the verbal, for the expression. Okay, let me take notes, because if we're starting working on this.
Oh yeah, so if you've got things to do, I'm just
So we would need some 8 for grounding, also some 17-8 to add verbal expression. So that's good, and that could complement the 3 as well, just in case we can't get it anywhere. What else did you say? Grounding, verbal expression, communication.
communication and the less critical one, being less critical.
Less critical.
Mm.
So we need to find something for the 10-1 then, because that's the 10-1 that's super critical.
Yeah, and the thing with that as well is I think, I mean, I could be wrong on this, but I think with my mum and with Cash having 3-3, I never, ever, ever intentionally judged either of them, like never, and I honestly didn't. But they sometimes they both did this actually, and it was like one time I was talking, like me and Tash were going to see a band, and I hate the band; they're just terrible music. But I, you know, that's fine, right? I'd still happily go and see them with her, and
yeah,
it's not like a criticism of her, or it's just not something I like, right?
it's not your taste, yeah.
Right, and I was speaking to Mike about it, and we were just chatting on like Facebook, and she'd seen a comment. I was like, oh, it's not, you know, like go to see this band tonight because he knows I don't like them.
Yeah.
But it was nothing to do with her or it. But she was, and then she was like, right, well, we won't go to see them then. I'm like,
no, because she took it personally as a personal attack. But then that was your 9 going through the 3s.
Straight through. And the same with my mum as well. Like, she'd be like, oh, always apologetic. Like when she wrote to me, and she's like, oh, ignore the grammar. And I'm like, I'm terrible. I just send notes and fly them off. Like, I'm not judging. Like, I'm not judging you, but people think I am all the time. And I don't know
That's
why.
because of the fiery aspect of the 9. You know, you're a dragon serpent. You know, you straight to the point.
Yeah.
No, but you don't mean it to be like this, but it's just who you are.
But yeah, and then when people think that I'm like, oh, judging them, I'm like, I'm quite hurt by that because I'm not.
But that's how you come across.
Yeah.
Say on a superficial level, but then once you get to know you, people should know that it's non-intentional. You know, that there's no hurting. You don't mean to hurt anyone, but it's just the way you deliver things.
So maybe that.
But I think we could, if we could add some 13-4, you know, some divine feminine, nurturing mother energy. And it, you know, the 13-4 would help you be more gentle on yourself and be less self-critical. So the best match, you know, for a 10-1 would be the 13-4, which would perfectly balance the masculine and the masculine and the feminine. Sorry, can't think straight. But send me the list of the attributes and the names, and try to meditate on them. I've got and that's what I did, you know, when we tried to do my name optimization during the training. There's like a questionnaire that you have to fill, you know, with all the possible names that you would like to try out. The more you try, the longer it will take. So try to, you know, if you give me 12 names, it's going to be 10 hours of work. Just trying to, and also, you know, trying to change the different spellings, because then when a number is not quite right, we try to change a letter to change, you know, the sequence of all the numbers. So then it becomes, you know, really precise work. And I look again at the Star of David and how each number is created to see where I can have an impact, and whether I should add, I don't know, a letter, or change maybe the sound E could be an I, or it could be EE. So and all the interaction with it. So really try to sit with the names that you feel attracted to, whether they're going to be a middle name or a new first name or an addition to what you already have. But try to think.
Yeah, I'll sit with it. There's a few that I like feel good, but I'll sit with it a bit longer.
But yeah, for the 5, we could definitely have 8 or 7. 7 is good also for communication. And, this network, be a magnet to people. Because it's grounding. So for your 5, we can have this.
Yeah, I feel like I've definitely got a bit of 7 about me.
Yeah.
but I am really actually very introverted. It's very weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But that's the 5 that makes you an introvert and a very sensitive one. So the 5, we could try and get an 8 or a 7. The 10 one, we would ideally like to have a 13-4 with one of them.
Yeah.
For the 10 one. Yeah. But yeah, I'll send you the questionnaire if you want to do that. Think about it, and there's no rush. We want to do this properly. Yeah.
I won't call myself Jonathan.
Unless you want. Well, you know what the numbers of Jonathan Lewis are anyway. So see if it works for you.
No.
Okay, stop sharing.